Hello, welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Thank you for joining me today. Since bloating and digestion issues happen to the best of us, I wanted to share my top 10 go-to poses for when these issues arise. This isn't as much of a yoga flow class, but just my top 10 list of poses to help aid in digestion. So we'll hold each pose for up to about 30 seconds, but feel free to pause me at any time and hold them for longer or flow through this once again afterwards. We don't need any props for this video, so whenever you're ready, we can get started. So pose number one, we can do both of these or just one. Wind release. We have both of the knees into the chest here. We can find a slight rock, or we can find stillness, whichever one makes you feel a little bit better. We can always keep some space in between, play around with the angle of the knees into the chest. And then we also have half wind release, where we extend one leg and hug the other knee into the chest. We're active here in both legs, so we're feeling this hip crease open up, as well as very active in the long extended leg. So we hold here, and this pressure on the lower belly area helps twist everything out. We want to make sure that we switch if we do half wind release. So if you're taking that, go ahead and switch with me now, hugging the other leg into the chest. Remembering to breathe nice and deep throughout these stretches. Fill the belly. Let it go. Let it be what it is, as bloated or big as it feels. Let it hang out. And we can release, and we're going to rock up to a seat. So taking the hands behind the thighs and gently rock up to easy seat, crossing our feet at the ankles. Hands can find the knees or down here by the hips. So we take little hip circles, so just drawing the chest close to the knees and then rounding through the back. Just mobilizing through this pelvic region, taking a few circles, and then making sure to go the other way. Beautiful. This is pose number 2, our hip circles. When we feel good with these, we can find our third pose, our twist. So taking the right hand behind, left comes to the opposite knee, and we reach up through the crown of the head, just carefully twisting, not wrenching our back over, not wrenching our back, but just an easy, gentle twist, just until we can feel it. And again, let the belly hang. Let it be big. 2 more breaths here. Maybe closing the eyes for a moment. And exhale, twist the opposite way. Reaching up through the crown, rooting down through the sit bones. And facing back to center, coming onto the hands, getting back to the middle of the mat. We want the shoulders in line with the wrists and the hips in line with the knees. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tilting the pelvis up towards the ceiling. And exhale, press through the hands to round through the back, tucking the pelvis in. Moving with the breath here, taking a few rounds of cat-cow for our 4th posture. This back and forth movement of the spine really helps warm everything up. Remember to breathe. Nice and even. One more round. And then we meet in neutral spine for our fifth posture, downward facing dog. Tuck those little toes, send the hips up, walk the hands out, pedal out the feet. Especially if this is your first movement of the day, everything can be a little tight. Sending the heels down, gripping through the fingers, pressing away from the mat, reaching the chest towards the legs. Feeling everything in line, a nice long line from the crown of the head to the hips, and the hips to the heels. Take a few breaths here. And try to find some ease in this posture. Beautiful. One more breath. And gently walk the hands back towards the feet. Slowly take the feet hip width apart and then turn the toes to the corner. Drop the pelvis down for Malasana Yogi Squat. Pose number 6. Opening through the groins. It's all right if our heels are not on the mat. They can be raised as well. We're just reaching the chest up, opening, maybe using the elbows to help the knees go a little bit wider as we send the pelvis down towards the mat. One more big breath here. And exhale, plant the hands, straighten the legs, turn the toes towards the wrists for pose number 7. Planting this left hand down, bending the left knee, peel the right arm up for a little twist. We can always be on the fingertips. We can deepen our twist here depending on how open we are. One breath here. And then on your next exhale, gently replace, kicking the right hand down, peeling the left up, and bending the right knee. Gazing towards that left hand, breathing into the belly. Exhale, release. Walk the fingertips out into plank pose and slowly lower down onto the belly for pose number 8. Little scorpion twist. So we're on our forearms here. We're going to extend this right arm by our side, bend the left knee, and kick it over our right. So we're lying on our right leg here, using this left hand to steeple the fingertips and press onto this right shoulder. Our leg here can be touching the mat, our toes, maybe they're not touching, whatever feels good to you. Play around with that here as we come to lie on our right shoulder, opening up through the front of the chest. Exhale to gently roll back onto the belly and switch sides. Extending the left arm by the side, kicking that right leg over. Beautiful. Remembering to breathe. Maybe feeling things move around in there already. Maybe feeling a little bit more open. Take one more breath. And exhale, release back onto the belly. Coming into our 9th pose, we can take either snake or bow pose here, depending on our comfortability. Gazing at the mat in front of you, squeeze through the legs, send the pelvis down into the mat or reach the arms behind, preparing for a snake pose, interlacing the hands behind the back, and inhale, lift the chest, squeeze through the abdominals and the glutes, nice and strong. We can stay here, or we can bend the knees and reach for the feet, coming into bow pose, sending the knees up, using the opposition of the hands and the feet here. Hold. Take a deep breath. And exhale, gently release. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders to press back into our final 10th pose, child's pose. We can take a wide child's pose, sending the knees out, keeping big toes together, melting the heart down. Or we can keep the knees underneath the chest and find a little twist once again. We can revolve here, lifting the hands to the heart center and twisting to the side, reaching up. Right elbow lifts, left is on the mat, opening through the chest, opening through the upper back. Exhale to come through center and switch sides. For taking our little twist, right elbow comes to the mat. Beautiful, press up. Breathing deeply into the belly. And wherever we are, we can gently release. I hope we were able to find a little bit of comfort for you today. And if we're not having digestion issues, we can save this class for later when we are. These are just some of my favorite poses that really help start to work things out in there. So let me know how this class went for you down below. I would love to hear from you, and I can't wait to practice with you on the mat.